Hey all, and welcome back to Henchman Story. I'm Agent of Mischief. Let's jump back on in, shall we? I barely remember collapsing into my bed when I finally got back to my room. I'm pretty sure I fell asleep as soon as I made contact with the sheets. I knew the side hustle was going to be work, but I underestimated just how much of a toll it would take. It wasn't that crazy compared to some of the other operations I've been a part of, but I really underestimated how draining it is to do a second shift of anything after you've already worked a full day. It's going to be tempting to take more gigs, but if I don't pace myself, I won't be awake long enough to even enjoy the extra money. Unless, of course, my phone interrupts my hibernation, like right now. Christ, what time even is it? I don't remember setting an alarm. My bedside clock reads 6:10. Definitely not an alarm, at least not one that I set. Is someone calling me? I fumbled for my phone and peered at the screen as I rubbed the sleep from my eyes. It's Kate. Begrudgingly, I swipe to the right and hold the phone to my ear.
Kate? How the hell are you up after last night? Didn't a robot smack you in the face?
Yeah, well, there are some things that are worth shaking that off for.
Explain.
Listen, I've got something important to show you. I know we only met a couple days ago, but it feels like we've been on the same wavelength since the start, you know? Like, we already know each other. Ugh, it's not like someone who says they're only looking for Libras in their kindling profile. Ignore that. I'm not talking about some cosmic connection. I just like you, Stan. And I think you like me. So there's something I need to tell you before I lose my chance, and I need to do it in person. It's just one of those things you shouldn't do over the phone. Meet me at the door you showed me. Number 1385. Come alone.
Hey, slow down. My brain's still in boot up mode. Let me just tell Dave where I'm going.
No, I mean, look, please don't tell anyone, okay? I'm serious.
I was joking. Jeez, sorry. You sure you're all right?
I don't think she's alright.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just hurry, okay? It's really important.
My sleep is important.
Kate, my sleep is important. It's 6 in the morning and my brain feels like it's about to seep out of my eyeballs.
Oh, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get the reveal that either she's a superhero or she's been working for one. So I'm probably not gonna be that surprised when we get to that.
Dan, there's things you sleep through and there's things you don't. This can't wait. I'm already pushing it on the timing. Just please trust me right now. That's all I'm asking.
All right, but can I get a dash of context? A pinch even?
No.
Kate? Hello? Shit.
Normally I'd blame the cave walls for messing with the Wi-Fi. With all that talk of hurrying, I have a feeling that she just hung up. Where did that come from? Yeah, we've been getting along well, but that was sort of a weird vibe. But that was a weird vibe for a 6 a.m. phone call. Not even a text, like a sane person. She had to call and wake me up. And combined with how closely she's been following me around, yeah, very weird vibe. If it were in the middle of the night, this would feel like the perfect stage for either heartfelt confession or heartrending murder. Even my life feels like changing genres, but at 6 a.m., could be anything. Still, if Kate says it's important, that's good enough for me. I take a moment to rub my eyes and stretch before rolling out of bed. I'm so tired that the first few steps are wobbly, so I slap myself a little to jumpstart my system.
Come on, man. Get it into gear.
I snatch my uniform from the floor and give it a tentative sniff. A little ripe, but not too bad. Apparently I need to hurry, so it'll have to do. No time for my usual morning routine either, so in lieu of my toothbrush, I rummage through my nightstand for an old tin of mints, expired 8 months ago. Probably still fine. Chewing on my vaguely mint-flavored chalk and still zipping at my uniform, I hurry out the door. I walk through the halls at a brisk pace, completely unimpeded by traffic. The place is practically empty at this time of day, though I'd have at least expected to find 1 or 2 diehards patrolling the halls with gusto. The research wing is the same. I don't encounter a single guard on my way here. Surely someone was meant to have this shift. This couldn't have anything to do with why Kate called me, right? Finally, I reach my hall, my familiar lonely hall, home to my equally lonely door, number 1385, right where I left it. Except this morning my door isn't so lonely. Kate is keeping it company, leaning against the adjacent wall. She quickly spots my approach and gives me a wave, though it lacks some of her usual enthusiasm. I return the gesture.
Hey, thanks for coming.
No problem. After all, you said it was important. Several times.
Sorry, I had to be sure. I know I might have sounded like a crazy person. But I'm not. You know that, right?
Yeah, definitely. I'm here, aren't I? So what did you need to tell me? Are you wondering what was up with Scorpion and that robot skull, too? You think it was just a souvenir, or does she run a robotics chop shop on
I
the side?
forgot. I was thinking of drawing her with a robot skull in hand. But I might just draw a regular skull because I already don't remember what the robot skull looked like.
No, bigger than that. Way bigger. I'm actually not sure you'll believe me. So first, I want to show you something. You know this door that you've never opened? Well, we're going to open it.
Whoa there. I kind of thought maybe, but damn.
You're gonna stab me in there, aren't you?
What? No! Why would you think that?
Well, you have been following me around a lot. I mean, somehow you just happened to be waiting for me right after I accepted that henchcan gig. Come on, you gotta admit that was more than a coincidence.
Okay, yeah, that's a little suspect. Fine, I admit it. I've been following you around a little, but not to stab you. I mean, what the hell, man?
When it comes to potential stabbings, it never hurts to double check.
That another official piece of veteran wisdom?
Yes.
As official as it gets.
Right. Well, we're not getting through this door all that officially, so you may want to stand back.
Oh boy, she can use C4. Hesitantly, I take a few steps back from the door. She's not going to blow it, is she? No, Kate's not touching the door at all. Instead, her attention is on the keypad, which is already cracking open.
Moment of truth.
Kate reaches under her belt and pulls out a small white and blue device, which she plugs into the keypad. After a few minutes of fidgeting, it lets out a friendly beep, and the door slides open with a groan.
After you. Figure you should see it first, considering how many hours of your life you've spent standing right next to it.
I want to see what it is.
Wow, polite and pessimistic. This is why we get along. All right, let's see what Lord Bedlam's been hiding. Maybe this is where he stashed all that dog food.
I take a deep breath and step inside. Well, holy shit, this was a lot bigger than I expected. What the hell is that? The monolithic machine can't possibly be a computer, can it? But I don't see what else it could be. There are no visible pipes or mechanisms, just wires, and it looks like house's circuitry. Getting some serious, I can't let you do that vibes from this thing.
This has been here the whole time? I come in peace. Hopefully not evil AI person. Please don't sick any robots on me.
It's 620 robots on him.
I've had quite enough of that recently. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, it is too late, Stan. Now I must turn you into a cyborg and enslave your mind. Don't worry, we're still about 3 decades away from any serious threat of an uprising, and there's a good chance the robots get too distracted by social media to actually overthrow the government.
Or they pull an Ultron, get on the internet for 10 minutes and decide that this species is doomed and they might as well kill us early.
So this huge housing and all the circuitry inside it are going to be dedicated to posting GIFs? At that size, I bet it could just make a few thousand of them as easily as searching for one.
Oh no, by then we'll be living in a post-gift society. It'll be holograms or astral projections or whatever.
Right, but will we still have statements punctuated by clapping emojis? I feel like all those full stops would be super appealing to a robot.
Humans are an inferior life form, period. But tragically, I could never make any 15-second dancing videos. Alas, I have no legs, and I must meme.
Oh god, we need more sleep.
So much more sleep.
But seriously, robot uprising aside, is this why you were so curious about the door on our tour? Did you know this was in here?
Sort of. I knew something like this was in here, but not this exactly. I didn't think they had enough time to set a unit like this up. But Scorpion and Bedlam must have been working together for longer than anyone thought.
So this machine is Scorpion's? I guess that makes sense. Lord Bedlam isn't exactly at the cutting edge when it comes to technology. But what did she put it here for?
And that's where things get complicated. Think, what do you know about Madame Scorpion, outside of the whole assassin thing? What are her skills? Her interests?
Being scary and being
She was
hot.
Bedlam's partner on that job Wednesday, right? She showed up personally for it, even intervened. And what was she after?
Data. Not really sure what kind, but it was a private tech company. No weapons, no financials. I never really figured out anything more specific than that.
And her business, the Scorpion Group. They've got this new Henchman app, right? Others too. And how do apps identify, recruit, and monetize users? Data. The private kind that companies aren't technically supposed to keep, but always do.
Okay, I follow you. But is that really all this is about? An app for hiring meat shields?
No, it's more than that. Think about it. You were part of her second data heist in a week, and those are just the ones you know about. That would be overkill for a few apps. And it's more than a business asset to her. Come on, you saw her in action last night, didn't you? Think about how she acted. Did she say or do anything that felt off?
Literally everything she said.
Yeah, actually. Remember that thing with those guards in the first room? She knew every detail about it without even being there. And when I brought it up, she started this whole cat and mouse thing. Somehow, I think she was tapping into the security system there.
Yeah. That's
Then
what
later,
I thought.
before I got turned into a decoy,
Maybe through
she
the
was
app.
able to hack open the door just by touching it. And I didn't notice her carrying anything to actually take that data with her, now that I think about it.
That sounds consistent. So, based on that, clearly she can communicate with complex inorganic systems. What do you think that means?
Oh my god, Madam Scorpion's a robot. I thought you said we had 3 decades.
What? No, she's human. She just has powers that let her brain work like a robot's. Sort of. It doesn't officially have a name, because she's the only known case, and she's not exactly forthcoming on the details. I like to call it cerebral superprocessing. On a basic level, she appears to absorb and process data subconsciously, way beyond the rate of a normal human. However, it's expanded to a variety of physical and mental abilities.
Right, so that's how she was able to hack that door. She must have some kind of superhuman Wi-Fi, too.
Sure, if that helps you understand it better. That Wi-Fi and her enhanced physique could come from nanotech that rides off of her power's coattails, or a completely organic evolution of her baseline abilities. It's like I've been telling you, she's uniquely dangerous. And since you've been caught in her gravity, well, I figured you ought to know.
Appreciate it. I don't know if I'll be able to put it to use, but at least I know a little more about what all this has been for.
No problem. Like I said, you deserve to know at least that much. You might work for a supervillain, but the difference between someone like Lord Bedlam and Madam Scorpion is vast. You're way out of your league.
Maybe I want to work for the scary lady, though. Consider.
Kate, I'm always out of my league. That's part of the job. But why the steroidal server over there? Isn't all that information in her head?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's meant to augment her power, or cycle new sets of data in and out. Whatever it's for, she must think it's important. She's invested a ton in it.
Her and Bedlam both, it looks like. Or at least he paid for the paint job.
If that. As far as I can tell, your boss has basically turned into a supervillain shell company for the Scorpion Group. So he might have picked the paint, but paid for it? Doubt it.
Good point. I don't think that dog food heist paid enough for a liter of soda, much less 20 gallons of paint. But hey, why don't we go find ourselves some index cards and string so we can set up a conspiracy board somewhere other than the secret supercomputer room, okay? Not that I don't appreciate the glimpse behind the curtain, but something tells me that if Scorpion finds us here, then it'll be the last thing we glimpse. Come on.
I turned towards the exit, motioning for Kate to follow.
Stan, wait.
Wait for what?
I want to destroy
now,
the
you
device.
know I hate to pull rank, but listen to the vet on this one, okay? There are times to wait and talk things through, but this is not one of them.
I don't think I'm going to let her destroy it if that's what she's planning on doing. I keep moving and Kate still doesn't follow.
I mean it. Stop. There's something else.
And I mean it, Kate. I appreciate you calling me up here and showing me this. Really, I do. But I can't get caught in here, all right? You told me the big important thing you wanted to tell me, so now let's go.
I don't think that's the full deal. Once more, I turn to leave.
That's the thing, Stan. There was one more thing that I needed to tell you.
Oh shit, yep, I was right. Smoke rises from a scorch mark in front of my feet, stopping me dead in my tracks. Mouth agape, I turn towards Kate to find her training a weapon on me.
Kate?
That's not my name.
I blink, dumbfounded, and glance at the weapon, blue and white. Just like that thing she used to open the door, and just like...
Shining Nova.
There you go. Knew you'd recognize me eventually. Just had to jog your memory a little.
No way, there's just no way. This whole time I thought I'd just been making friends with some cool new coworker, not a world-famous superhero. No, not just making friends. I've been flirting with a world-famous superhero. How did I miss it? Were there signs? Maybe.
Sorry.
I
Tranquilizers
guessed that she
tend
was
to
some
make
sort of
things a little
superhero. I don't think I would have immediately guessed Shining Nova, but I sure as hell knew she wasn't one of the bad guys.
But you're memory didn't need any jogging, did it? No, you recognized me from the moment you got here. That's why you went right up to me during orientation. That's why you've been following me around. It's also why you busted out all those crazy ninja moves during last night's job. And that's why... Are you telling me you left your name tag on so you could remember your fake name? Seriously?
Hey, it's tough to keep everything straight when you're going undercover. There's nothing wrong with a cheat sheet.
It's one syllable. You work at the absolute cutting edge of robotics, and you can't remember Kate?
It's just, I have a lot of names to keep straight, okay? Anyway, I was going to answer 3 questions as an apology for being dishonest with you, but I'm counting that as the first one. So now you only get 2.
I don't think that's gonna cover everything.
You'll make do. Oh, come on. Fire away.
Isn't it dangerous to tell me all this? I could blow your cover.
I'm past that stage, but honestly, I trust you more than anyone else in this place.
Oh, hon, I'm doing all this shit to side with scary supervillain lady. There's probably no way I do this without betraying you.
Low bar, considering your profession?
Maybe, but it still counts for something. You're capable of doing the right thing, Stan. I can tell.
Maybe I'm capable of taking you down.
Taking me?
Okay, it's not that funny.
It's a little funny.
But isn't it though?
I got pretty close before, didn't I?
It was 1 shot, Stan. I mean, I was impressed that you even managed that, but it was 1 shot.
Admit it was neck and neck. A real buzzer beater.
Nah, if we're using sports analogies, it was like, you made a layup, and then I dunked all over your face 100 times.
I don't know what any of that means.
But you tried your best. So you get orange slices at halftime and a participation trophy at the end of the game.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'll put it in my trophy case next to my Hero Weekly cover issue.
Wait, you were the guy getting clobbered by Captain Commodore? Holy shit.
Isn't it Captain Commander?
Honestly, no one knows. All right, I'm counting that as 1 question. You get 1 more. Make it count.
Why me?
Why me? Because we had a short conversation and then you tranquilized me? That can't be all of it.
Well, it's like I said, Stan. I like you. This isn't coming out right. What I'm saying is...
Suddenly, alarms flare, echoing through the layer stone halls, and lights begin to flash, cutting Kate off, or rather shining Nova before she can finish her thought.
Shit, thought I had more time. Guess this is where we part ways. Unless... Come with me. I got what I came for, but that's just the first step. I could use your help with the rest.
How am I supposed to trust that after you just revealed that you've been deceiving me this whole time?
This isn't an angle, Stan. I'm honestly making an offer. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. All the bad luck and desperate decisions that got you here, you can undo them. A total reset. All you have to do is go out on a limb and trust me.
I don't think
Or
so.
I could torpedo my career and live out my days in a trailer park somewhere, wondering when I'm gonna wake up covered in scorpion stings. You're asking me to risk what little I've built here on what? What guarantee?
I'm just, honestly, I've been playing this so that I can be on the supervillain path, if that hasn't been obvious. If at all there's a supervillain path, which is what I'm assuming. It really seems like this is about choosing between being a supervillain and a superhero, or working for one even. So I really think I want to go the supervillain path if at all possible. So that's a no from me, Kate. Shining Nova. Whatever.
Can't offer you one. But sometimes the only chance you have to break away from a system like this is to take that kind
Maybe
of
if I
risk.
replay this some
Sometimes
other
you
time,
have to bet on
like
yourself.
either on my own time, or if I do play it for the play this on the channel again, I will try the other route. But I'm going supervillain.
So what do you say? Ready to make that wager?
I'm not going anywhere.
I pull my baton out from its holster on my hip and snap it aside, letting it telescope to its full length.
And neither are you.
Damn it. Why are you making me do this?
could ask you the same thing.
But you don't have to. Just grit your teeth and do the right thing.
Just grit my teeth, pull myself up by my bootstraps, and make it happen, huh? Oh, is that all it took this whole time? Gee, I wish I'd known. Maybe it was that simple for you. The part about you being an engineer. That much is true, right? That's a damn good backup plan if this superhero thing doesn't work out. Me, I don't have the luxury of a parachute. This job is what I've got. Period.
So make something else. Stan.
I'm done arguing. Cards on the table, Nova.
Fine. Read them and weep then.
Almost faster than I can follow, Nova's hand snaps up and she fires the weapon attached to her wrist. It's like a smaller version of the weapon on the main Nova suit and nearly as effective. A bright beam of kinetic energy hits me in the shin and I stumble forward right into Nova's waiting knee, which knocks the wind out of me. Before the spots have left my vision, an elbow hits me in the small of my back and I'm sent sprawling to the floor.
There. You put in your minimum effort. No, at least, just stay down.
I hear the light, rapid sound of boots against the floor, passing right by my prone form and heading to the door. By the time I've recovered enough to turn myself over, I'm alone in the room. With some effort, I peel myself off the floor and slowly stand on my feet. She was taking it easy on me. She could have knocked me out right then. Her mistake. She may have a head start, but I think I can catch up to her. Kate may have superhero level conditioning, but I have the home field advantage. No, not Kate. Shining Nova. Christ, it's gonna be hard to get over. Superheroes just aren't like the rest of us. They're hardly even people, more like monuments. Big statues with shiny plaques telling you that if you uphold our good old-fashioned values, work hard and get a little lucky, you can be larger than life. So to spend this much time with one without even realizing it, well, it's just jarring to say the least. Hell, I went on a heist with one. Not to mention all the flirting, I really can't stress that part enough. But I've got to put all this aside for now and focus on what's in front of me. I need to catch up to Nova before she gets too far, or it's gonna be my ass. Maybe my head, too. Even with the alarms blaring, the halls are mostly empty. Only a skeleton crew is up this early, and the research wing was always light on staff anyway. I jog through the halls, trying to pace myself as I frantically scan for signs of Nova. Nothing so far, but she gets held up and I don't run into any speed bumps.
Oh, hey there, buddy. There you are.
God damn it, Dave. This is more important than you, trying to be buddies even though you're my fucking boss.
I heard there was an alarm at your door, so I went to your room to assign you the task of investigating it, but you weren't there. So then I thought to myself, you know, Dave, a true squad supervisor is always thorough when it comes to his team. That's when I decided to check on your door myself to make sure everything was A-okay.
Dave, I'm going to kill you.
How is good old door 1385?
Oh, you know, it opens and closes, like doors do.
Doors do open and close, don't they?
I don't have time for this shit.
That door's not supposed to open.
Oh no, not at all. It was just a turn of phrase.
How do you turn a phrase?
What? No, not literally. Look, the door wasn't open, all right? It's just that most doors can open and...
Stan, door 1385 is a door with level 4 security clearance. It's not most doors. It's a special, one-of-a-kind door. Gosh, I really thought you understood that.
I do, I swear. But if it helps you feel better, you can lecture me about it later. Put it on my report, whatever. But right now, I have to go, okay?
Whoa, slow down. This is a level 4 security issue, okay? I can't just let you leave.
I'm going to knock him out if it gives me the option. Dave reaches into one of his pouches and pulls out a small paperback book with Lord Bedlam's visage printed on the front.
Let's see. Level 4 security clearance. Door left ajar. Yep. Now, says it right there, plain as day. I need to hold you here until you can be properly questioned.
I'm gonna kick
But
him
I'm
in the
pursuing
nuts.
an intruder.
You know what my great-uncle Dave said about butts? Everyone has them, and by golly, they really stink. So no butts, Stan. You're staying right here until we sort all this out.
You know who won't have a butt or a head if we don't go after that intruder? Us.
Not according to protocol.
Not according to Lord Bedlam's protocol. Do you think Madam Scorpion is gonna give two shits what that little book has to say?
Well, she should.
But she won't.
Gosh, buddy, I don't know. You might be right about her. But if we just start ignoring protocol, what happens next? It's like a slippery domino. Once it starts, it just keeps on slipping.
I rubbed my eyes inside, trying my best to keep it together. Even if I had an hour, I'm not sure I could convince him to drop this, at least not through any conventional kind of reasoning. I might have to force my way past him, and that's a gamble. Dave doesn't have much, let's call it tactical instinct, but physically he could really give me a hard time. Better to avoid it if I can. Maybe I just need to try a different diplomatic approach, something more personal.
You know, with all this talk about door 1385, I'm getting a little nostalgic. You remember the conversation we had there this week? It was a simpler time.
It sure was, wasn't it? That was when you gave me those dating tips, I think?
Oh yeah, things weren't going too hot on the app, were they?
No, not hot at all. But you know, I really thought about what you said. Remember the stuff about the job box, the family box, and all the other boxes?
You mean how you might be married to your job?
Yeah, that! Well, I got knocked around pretty good on Operation Day, and afterwards I was thinking, maybe I'm married to my job right now, but what if it, divorces me?
Like you get injured and have to quit or something? That's a definite possibility.
Well, not that I'd want to. This job is everything to me. But if that changes, well, I guess the short version is I removed all the work stuff from my profile, got rid of my list of qualifications, and guess what? Someone actually responded to my messages without unmatching me. They stopped replying after a while, but I'm sure they'll finish that shower someday. So, thanks, buddy. You really helped me out.
You're welcome, pal. What can I say? I'm something of an expert in romance.
I can tell. That new girl really seems to like you.
Anyway, it's been nice reminiscing, but why don't we catch up more at lunch, okay? See you then.
I start to walk forward. Dave holds up a hand to stop me. Damn it, I thought that might distract him enough to let me slip by. His memory is better than I thought.
Whoa, just where do you think you're going, mister? We talked about that. You have to wait here. It's protocol. And protocol is protocol.
I'm gonna fucking fight him.
You know what? Fine. Hard way it is then. But one way or another, I'm leaving.
I reach down to my belt and grasp my baton, not even trying to be subtle about it. For some reason, I feel less tense than when I tried to take the peaceful approach, like I've taken off a jacket that's a size too small.
I don't like your tone, Stan. Or the fact that you're about to unholster your weapon without my authorization. It almost seems like you're threatening your supervisor.
Let me save you a few minutes of thinking. There's no almost about it. I've been patient with you, Dave. Real patient. Like a monk in purple spandex while you strut around with that big grin on your face, reminding me how you're in
Fuck
charge.
you, Dave.
Like your job title makes you so special. But it doesn't. When some Cape demigod crashes our little heists, you and I are identical to them. Whatever rank Bedlam may plaster on your ID, you're not above me. Not really. So when I say that I'm leaving, I don't think you can actually stop me.
I pull out my baton, snap it open with a flick, and press a button on its hilt. Sparks dance around its shock coils in response.
But you're free to try.
Dave's eyes narrow, and his grip tightens on the hilt of his own baton.
How dare you? You will refer to him as Lord Bedlam, Henchman 065.
Just like during Wednesday's operation, Dave acts without hesitation or thought. His baton has barely escaped its holster, and the words have just left his lips, yet he's already charging forward. But I knew that would happen, so when he swipes at me with his baton, I'm ready to block. Even with two hands, I stumble back. Damn, I forgot how strong he was. I mean, he's no dynamo, but for a normal guy, Dave's got some real muscle. I wince a little as my abdomen offers a painful protest. The beating Nova gave me certainly isn't helping either. But he's mad, and even thinking clearly, he's not exactly a master tactician. If I can bait him in and wait for something particularly sloppy, then maybe I can catch him with a counterattack.
Just surrender to the will of Lord Bedlam 065, and I'll only have your pay docked for a month. Don't make it worse for yourself.
Worse how? Would I have to spend even more time listening to stories about great-grandpappy Dean Dave Duke, or the rest of your dumbass family?
It's great-grandpappy Dean Dave Dwaynesenberg, and he was a saint!
Now totally blindsided with righteous fury for both Lord Bedlam and his endlessly bizarre family tree, Dave presses the attack, swinging wildly. I backpedal, parrying and blocking as best as I can, but one particularly vicious swing slips past and clips my side. It's a glancing shot, but it leaves Dave emboldened. With a triumphant cry, he lunges forward in a wild charge.
For Lord Bedlam!
God, what a dipshit you are, Dave. Now's my chance. I don't have the opportunity to win a whole lot of fights, but with everything that's happened recently, I think I've picked up a move or two that might do the trick. When we got into a scuffle during last night's gig, Kate did a pretty clean takedown of that security guard, which is a lot less surprising now that I know she's actually shining Nova. Maybe I can copy it. As Dave swings wildly, I slip to the side and deliver a sharp front kick to his kidney, sending him careening into the wall. Then, as he bounces off of the stone surface, I lunge for his arm and attempt to wrestle him to the ground. It's not very clean. Instead of violently pulling him down, we simply tip over into a tangled heap.
Did you just try to put your fingers in my... Stop it! Hey!
Ah, screw it. Unable to lock in a proper armbar, I unleash Dave's appendage and activate my pawn just before jabbing it in the very same spot I kicked earlier. For a moment, he convulses as shock runs through his body, then at last stops moving.
How the hell did she make that look so easy?
With a grunt of effort, I push the unconscious supervisor off of me and ease myself back to my feet. I let out a deep sigh of relief. At least it worked, somehow.
Don't forget to put that ass-kicking on your report, buddy.
I almost feel bad, but he really didn't leave me many options. Nova's getting further away with each second, and if she escapes, it'll be on my head. If I still have one win, Scorpion is done with me. But no time to dwell on it, I need to get moving, so after taking a deep, calming breath, I start off down the hallway at a jog, leaving Dave behind. I find myself moving on autopilot, winding my way through the fortress halls without stopping to consider my location. That's a big advantage I have over Nova, even if her pace is probably faster. So while it's tempting to push myself in an effort to keep up a steady jog is probably my best bet. I just have to hope that's enough. After a time, I start seeing signs of her escape, some scorch marks, a few unconscious comrades, and eventually some distant sounds to match. Gotcha. I focus on my breathing and try to ignore the pain in my abdomen. I'll need to be ready to go when I get there, or round 3 is liable to go down even worse than rounds 1 and 2. That would be embarrassing. Hopefully Scorpion gives out points for persistence. The signs of Nova's passing grow more dense, but something else joins the KO'd henchmen and blast marks, long molten scars on the floor and wall, still glowing from the heat of what made them. I know what that means, but I'm still not ready for the sight that awaits me as I round the next corner as I skid to a stop. Madam Scorpion looming over shining Nova, sword leveled and eyes gleaming in its flickering red light. Nova's mask flutters in the air between them, sliced clean in half, leaving her defiant glare unobscured.
There it is. That's the look I was hoping for. Such a selfish girl, hiding that behind flimsy masks and gaudy helmets. I could feel it last night, you know, even as you so futilely tried to subdue it. But resolve like that, it has a heat to it that can't be contained. I can't wait to watch it flicker and die.
Oh, I can't wait to blast that smug little smirk clean off your face. So I guess that makes us even.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Whether or not you're adorned in your full armored ensemble, we're hardly even.
While Scorpion's eyes don't appear to leave Nova, I see a flicker of recognition and her smirk grows ever so slightly.
Ah, Stanley. There you are. Such perfect timing. It does make me wonder. What has you wandering the halls at this early hour? You don't strike me as one who rises with the sun. Why, have we caught you in the midst of a morning tryst? With whom, I wonder? Oh, don't be so bashful. You must share the details, I insist. But first, be a dear and restrain this impostor. It would be fitting, I think, for you, of all people, to be the one to capture Shining Nova.
He's not going to do that.
He isn't.
I'm not?
No, you don't have to. Still mean what I said, Stan. It's not too late. You can still change your mind.
Yeah, no.
You're not just some extension of her will, or Lord Bedlam's, or anyone else's.
Next
You're
time
not
I
just
play,
henchman number
we will side with her,
065,
but
you're
for now,
Stan.
I'm siding with
Your
Madam
own
Scorpion.
person with your own choices.
Then why are you trying to choose for him yourself? Kate here is just trying to manipulate you, as she has this whole time. Stanley, listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been very impressed with you, you know. You have potential. But when opportunity exposes its throat to you, you must learn to drive a dagger through it. Do not concern yourself with the fate of this charlatan or anyone else. Our ambition is what matters. That's the game of power. And make no mistake, it is zero-sum. Regardless of what these self-proclaimed heroes may tell you, for us to win, others must lose, starting with her. Show me you understand that, and we can realize our ambitions together. Go on, Stanley. Do it.
Stan, don't.
Well, Stanley. This is it. Whatever I do next, I have a feeling there will be no going back.
I'm sorry.
I turn towards Kate, a rather shy Nova, and ready my weapon.
My mind's already made up. I told you before. I can't let you leave.
Then I'm sorry too. You really are lost, aren't you? It's sad.
I inch forward, pulling out a pair of restraints from my belt. Nova doesn't move. She barely even acknowledges me, keeping her eyes on Scorpion. It's smart. Maybe it's the only smart play she can make. If she turns her attention to me, that gives Scorpion an opening. She has to wait until the last possible second when she can use me as a shield. I gulp nervously as I get closer. Would Scorpion just cut right through me to get to Nova if it comes to it? No, I can't dwell on that. It's what Nova's counting on. Man, this sucks. I pause, just outside of arm's reach. How to do this? Quickly to catch her off guard or slowly to keep things calm? Slowly, I start to reach out to her wrist as if I'm about to convince her to lower her weapon. Halfway there, I suddenly speed up.
Easy. Gotcha!
I did not, in fact, have her. Well, good luck fucking that up like you just did. I groan as I gingerly pick myself up off the ground, clutching my side and gasping for breath. Damn, she's got some sharp freaking elbows, and she's quick too. I could try that 100 times, I'd probably get laid out in 99 of them, but unfortunately for Nova, I wasn't the one she has to worry about. Nova's weapon lies in smoldering bits on the hallway floor. The cannon sliced clean off by Scorpion's blade, which is now a hair's breadth away from the shorter woman's throat.
What's wrong? Lose your nerve?
Hardly. I already told you. I'm going to break that relentless spirit of yours first. I want to see it shatter.
By now, several other henchmen have finally joined us in the hallway, but Scorpion barely acknowledges them.
Now, finish what you started, Stanley. Then hand her over.
Sure. On it, ma'am.
I grimace as I pick up the restraints I dropped earlier and then slowly walk over to Nova. She doesn't seem like she's going to hit me. In fact, she even holds out her hands.
I meant it, you know. I'm really...
Don't say it. Once I can handle, but any more empty apologies and I'll kick your ass again. I don't care if she kills me afterwards.
Ooh, damn.
That word doesn't mean a thing.
With Nova secured, Scorpion deactivates her weapon. Meanwhile, the other henchmen begin the process of removing Nova's equipment belt and patting her down for any hidden weapons.
People like you never win in the end, you know.
Sure, Jan.
Oh, my dear, stubborn little friend. People like me are the only ones who win. Now, gentlemen, would you show our guests to our new room in the cell block? One with a view, if you don't mind.
At Scorpion's behest, the other henchmen start to guide the captured superhero down the hall with a light shove. Despite their prodding, Nova's gesture is straight and her eyes forward, never once looking back.
Come then, Stanley. Let's follow along, shall we? I fear that she may try something foolish without some distant supervision.
Maybe so?
Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, yes, ma'am. You got it.
I matched Madame Scorpion's pace as we trailed far behind the makeshift prisoner convoy. I'm glad for the distance, but my eyes still drift to the floor all the same. I've never had to do anything like this, not with a coworker, especially not one who I was friendly with. Things are changing fast around here. Can I keep up with it? Do I want to?
Eyes up, Stanley. There's nothing to mope about.
Sorry, ma'am. Just a long night. And a longer morning.
I know. I was there for both. Remember? Yet, despite it all, you did your job well back there. In fact, you did it exceptionally. If it's true that you delayed her earlier, don't let that self-righteous little imp guilt you into thinking otherwise. Superheroes are always such sore losers. You're making a mistake. What you're doing is wrong. You're a monster. Ugh. Excuses, nothing more. Like a child who insists that anyone who beats them at a game is cheating. They can't accept it.
I guess not. And, thanks. I did my best.
I know, Stanley.
We walk the rest of the way in silence, aside from the occasional order that Scorpion barks at passing henchmen. Our convoy has grown in size, and even without us there, it seems unlikely that Nova could escape. Still, Scorpion takes no chances. We follow until the henchmen finally lead Nova down the stairs that lead to our cell blocks. I catch one last glimpse of her glaring over her shoulder as she makes that final turn. I glare right back. As fast as everything's changing, Scorpion's right. I have no reason to hang my head. I did my job, that's all. I didn't ask to be involved in some superhero scheme. She had no right to ask that of me. It wasn't fair.
How secure are those cells, in your opinion?
For a normal person, as secure as it gets. Even if she got her door open, there's only one way in or out, provided she didn't sneak in a mining drill. This is the center of the lair, so the walls down there are solid rock.
Good. Then let's leave the details to the guards and move this to my office. We have much to discuss.
Booyah. Alright, I think we're gonna leave things here for now. If you've been enjoying the game, if you've been enjoying the videos, the series, my commentary, whatever, what have you, it would be really swell if you could hit those like and subscribe buttons. Maybe leave a comment if you're feeling generous. And I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.